In the Air Force, the wingman protects the lead by watching his back and mutually supporting him. This is a beautiful picture of Austin Perkins. Quiet on the surface, but truly deep water. He is constantly the one working behind the scenes and is characterized by dependability, flying right behind and to the side of his friends, ready to provide defensive cover or strengthen their offensive.
In a world entirely focused on the value and benefits of STEM education, it was the one thing that allowed her to outperform all of her peers. She stood out from the rest of her class at Harvard, and it was because of this one thing that they all came to her, begging to know how she was able to do so well. Dr. Catherine Pakaluk never could have imagined the impact it would have on her life, but there she was, one of the best in her class. Once she discovered what it was that enabled her to do so much better than her fellow students, she said, "Reading. Reading does this thing to your brain which is inherently superior to mastering recipes of skills." Reading is all it was that allowed Dr. Catherine Pakaluk to perform so well. She was raised in a liberal arts focused school and saw the incredible advantages it provides over those with little to no liberal arts background. It was reading literature that was so important to her success, just as it can be to everyone else. In order to have a productive and intelligent society, literacy must be a top priority and should further be something all humans are proficient at. Mark Twain, the renowned author, once said, "A person who won't read has no advantage over one who can't read." Without literacy, our society will crash. In today's world, in the age of technology, the serious benefits of the ability to read must not be overlooked. Literature establishes many characteristics, as well as develops the brain. It all starts with the parents, but should not be ignored in the schools, and an improper way of teaching it should be avoided at all costs. The effects of literature are too important to the mind to be taught inadequately. It is vital that technology not take the place of reading, because there are many fundamental developments that soon become obsolete when reading is not used to form them properly. As beneficial as technology is to the ease of life and the transportation of a variety of things, the value behind literature is just as vital to humanity. Empathy, critical thinking, and well-educated minds all are strengthened because of the power of literature. Schools must understand their importance in cultivating a love for reading. Parents must understand their importance in providing additional support in the nurturing of their child's literacy. Children and students must understand what they will be lacking if they choose to ignore such important building blocks in becoming the adults they were meant to be. Technology's rise and replacement of physical books to be read and enjoyed by all is on the brink. Attention must be placed on the value of literature before it becomes too late. The research available today is vivid and undeniable. The evidence is becoming more and more clear, and the science is telling us why. It all begins with the children of today, the leaders of tomorrow. We must set an example for them and show them the benefits of literature. They will be the caretakers of the world one day, and it is vital that they be raised and trained as though the gravity of such responsibility is always on our minds. The child who grew up seeing Sidney Carton sacrifice his life for his friend in A Tale of Two Cities will become the adult who puts others before himself. The child who grew up reading how Atticus Finch defended Tom Robinson in To Kill a Mockingbird during a time when Atticus would have been looked down upon for such a defense will become the adult who stands up for his beliefs, even in the face of pressure. The child who grew up watching Alice stand up to her fear in order to defend the knave in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland will become the adult who sets aside personal fears for those in need of help. This is why literature is still important in the age of technology.
Austin, it has been a joy to watch you grow into the young man that God has made you to be. And it's an honor, and thank you on behalf of our family for the privilege of speaking a word to you today at this important time in your life. You're entering a new phase of life, one that will bring new places, new experiences, new people, and new relationships. But as you go, do not forget, do not forsake, but rather cherish the foundation that you have built, the legacy you have been given, and the Lord that you follow. As you go, Embrace Proverbs 3. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths. You are a quiet, soft-spoken thinker, which in much of the new world that you're going to enter will be mistaken as weakness. I know for a fact that that's not the case with you. You might be the prime example of action speaking louder than words. As you go, embrace 1 Peter. Always be prepared to give an answer for the hope that you have. Everyone here knows that verse. We remember that verse. It's followed by a but. But do this with gentleness and respect. Austin, I see gentleness and respect in you. But let me remind you, gentle is not weak. Gentle is not timid. Gentle is not a lack of boldness. Respect is not compromising truth, and respect is not capitulation. Both gentleness and respect are civil, both are courageous, and both are God-honoring. I wasn't going to be emotional. In that spirit, Austin, I charge you to be what the world desperately needs more of today: a gentleman, a gentle man, a gentle man of God, trusting God with all your heart, boldly, even if quietly, giving an answer for your hope in Christ with gentleness and respect. Austin, we love you like a son. We look forward to seeing God use you, young gentleman, to change the world. God bless you.